Anyways, now that Johnny's been pissing off the politically correct ninjas on Twitter the past couple of days, let's get back to boxing, huh? No. There was nothing relevant this week. I mean, Laywood versus Lopez was fun, but, anyways. So, I wanted to talk a little bit more about Crawford Spence, yeah? And I wanted to talk about some things that I feel that both guys can utilize in the fight that I think will be effective for them. If you want to call this keys to victory, methods to victory, whatever you want to call it, it don't matter to me. Whatever synonym you want to throw at it. Now, some of these might be cliche, and some of these you probably have heard before from other guys and other channels and shit. But just my 2 cents, just from a little greaseball from Chicago that used to box a little bit, huh? Anyways, so for Spence, obviously he needs to get the jab going, and I had to take a couple of notes for this. Usually I can pop these right off the dome, but get that jab of his going. He's got one of the better jabs in boxing, and point of note here, I don't think that either one of them have ever fought a southpaw, like not at that elite level anyways. You know what I'm saying? Maybe in the amateurs, but not in the pros. So it's going to be interesting to see southpaw and southpaw. And that's what I find myself really struggling with to break this fight down. You don't see southpaw versus southpaw in an undisputed fight too often, but Spence needs to establish the jab and obviously go to Crawford's body. Crawford's a very good move. He's very good at moving around. He's very good at counter punching. He's very good at making adjustments. And I think Spence will want to obviously get the jab going and go to that body, take some air out of the tires, as Teddy Atlas would say, from Crawford, and try to do that early on, right? And he's also going to need to avoid some of them counter shots from Crawford because, like I say, I think Crawford might be the hardest puncher Spence has ever fought. And maybe even vice versa. But, if Spence overextends himself when he's jabbing to the body or throws a lazy jab out there, I think maybe not right off the bat in the first 3-4 rounds, but I think if Spence starts getting a little sloppy with his jab and his body work, I think Crawford's going to be able to read that and counter him hard upstairs. So that's just something to keep an eye on. So he's going to need to have some good in and out movement to avoid those counter shots. Now, this is all Errol Spence I'm talking about. So get the jab going, get the body work going, take some mobility and some air out of the tires from Crawford and avoid them counter shots. Don't admire your work. I remember Oscar De La Hoya said that back in the day, and it always stuck with me. Don't sit back and admire your work too much. If you land a good stiff jab or an overhand left or a good body shot, don't sit there and admire your work. And Spence does do that a little bit. And another thing for Spence, I think, for him to be victorious, the last thing I have written down here, is establish the pace. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, get that jab going. Get the body work going on Crawford. Take some of those air out of the tires, some of the shit I was just touching on, and back Crawford up. Because here's a big thing in this fight, bro. Crawford's not really the type of guy to back somebody up. He's going to wait for you to make a mistake and counter you. For the most part. I mean, he's more of a boxer puncher, but he does like to do that a lot. But, once you get Spence going and because Spence he's not good on the back foot. He's only good going forward. So that's what I mean by establish the pace. Go forward, press forward, keep the engine going, get the jab going, get the body work going, and build some momentum and get the pace going. That's what Spence needs to do. Okay. Now, for Crawford, He's going to need to learn how to slip the jab. A lot of people like to say Crawford has this untouchable defense. He doesn't, bro. He gets hit quite a bit. He's good defensively, but he's not great defensively. He's not. He was getting tagged up by Porter, Kavalauskas, Gamboa. So he's going to need to, you know, get out of the way of some of them jabs that are going to come from Errol Spence. And he's also going to need to get out of the way of some of them body works. Get out of the way of some of Spence's body shots. And another thing he's going to need to do, once Spence is putting his jab out there and going downstairs and he gets a little lazy, look for those counter shots, bro. Because as tough as, because I do think Spence is more durable than Crawford. I don't think that's really much of a debate. He wants to turn it into a phone booth fight. And Crawford will be that guy if he has to, but that's not his bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? Crawford will get in the pocket and exchange with you, but that's not really his bread and butter. That is Spence's bread and butter. So Crawford, you know, I think he's going to have to get out of the way of some of them jabs. He's going to have to avoid some of them body shots from Spence so he's able to stay mobile the full 12 rounds if necessary, right? Another thing I think Crawford needs to do is give Spence some different looks, try and confuse him. Because Spence is, like I say, I don't think Spence is, you know, he's very good at a lot of stuff. I don't think he's great at anything. He's got a very good jab. He's a very good body puncher. He's very durable, and he's very good at coming forward. He's not good off the back foot, though, Spence is. And he doesn't, so there's going to be times in this fight where Crawford is going to have to back Spence up. That's why Porter was so successful against him, okay? And this is pre-car accident, Spence. That's why Porter was having so much success with Spence, because he was able to back him up in times and not, you know, not take a backward step from him, bro. You know, bully the bully, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So there's going to be times, even though Crawford's more of a boxer puncher, and he likes to counter and wait for you to make a mistake, there's going to be some times where Crawford's durability is going to have to hold up, and he's going to have to bully the bully and back Spence up a little bit. Now, can he do that? I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, give him different looks, man. Confuse him. Switch orthodox. Switch hit him. Go from orthodox to southpaw. Make it seem like you're going downstairs and go upstairs. Try and feint him. Get him to, you know, get him to bite the bait. Jump on a feint. Counter him, and then counter him. You know what I'm saying? So give Spence different looks. Try to confuse him. And I would say that Crawford should probably be circling to his left. Even though you might come into contact with Spence's jab at points, you're still staying away from his overhand left and his backhand. You know, that would be, I think that, but you never know, man. This is why this is such a hard fight to call. Now, the one thing I will say is this. And this is kind of the thing that's like not making me 100% on this, bro. That meanness that Crawford has in him, he's going to have to bring that out in this fight because Spence isn't going to want to back up. He's the Energizer Bunny. He's going to be coming forward, body shots, jab, body shots, the whole night. He's going to have to show some of that mean streak in him like he's shown in the past. And he's going to have to let the demon, he's going to have to unleash the demon. You know what I'm saying? Because Crawford gets like that, bro. You know, you can tell when somebody's got the eyes of a killer. Let's just put it like that, bro. And Crawford definitely has that in him. You know, and there's going to be times in this fight where Crawford's going to have to unleash the demon on him and pull that fucking mean streak out of him, bro. Because like I say, Spence is going to look to dictate the pace and come press forward, press forward, press forward, press forward. There's going to be times where you're going to have to get gritty and get gruff in there, bro, and back his ass up. But like I say, bully the bully. Now, can Crawford do that? I don't know, because here's the thing. You can't just, you know, I'm not saying he can't do this in spurts. He can't just back up, fight off the back foot, back up, back up, back up, and let Spence start dictating the fight with his jab and his body work, bro. He can't do that. You know, and like that's why I keep telling everybody, Spence is going to win the first 3 or 4 rounds in this fight. After Crawford makes the adjustments and sees what he can capitalize on with Spence, that's when it's going to get interesting. But Spence will win the first 3 or 4 rounds of this fight. Mark my words on that. You know, but it's a tough. Like I say, is there somebody remind me in the chat? I mean, you'd have to go back some years, I would imagine. Somebody remind me in the chat of a super fight where it was southpaw versus southpaw. I'm sure there's a couple I'm forgetting, but for the life of me, I can't think of it. When was there a big mega fight, super fight, undisputed, where it was southpaw and southpaw? I can't think of one for the life of me. But those are just some thoughts that I had. You know, I'm probably going to do a few more of these as we build up to the fight. Some little things that pop in my head with Spence and Crawford. And I've been doing a lot of film study, watching some of their old fights, watching Spence versus Danny Garcia and Porter and Ugas and Crawford versus Porter and Brook and Avanesian and, you know, their last handful of fights. So, dude, I think I know who I'm picking, but again, man, there's a couple of things there that I'm really, really not sure on, bro. And I don't want to say what they are yet. I don't want to say what they are yet. But one of them is Crawford's going to be fighting in hostile territory, all right? He's been barking at the PBC for the last 5 years, bro. They're not going to give him any favoritism on the cards, bro. So, in my opinion, Crawford's going to have to knock him out or just completely shut him out, which that's not going to happen in order to get a fair shake on this fight. Something tells me Crawford can do it, but is he a little over the hill? Because he's 36, man. 35, 36 years old. So we'll see, bro, but he's going to cross. I know I see a lot of people picking Crawford or winning. I'm rooting for Crawford. I want him to win too. But he's going to have an uphill battle in this fight, guys. You know, especially going to a new network where they've been building Spence up for years at this point, putting him on multiple pay-per-views against Mikey Garcia, against Danny Garcia, against Ugas and Sean Porter. This is, those are the 3 guys that the PBC puts on pay-per-view. Wilder, Gervonta Davis, and Errol Spence, bro. So he is going into enemy territory in this fight. So don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Oh, well, they're both American. But nah, bro. Nah. They're going to be swinging. The officials and the judges are going to be a little bit more lenient towards Spence, bro. I can guarantee you that. So, but there's a couple of things that maybe think Crawford could pull it off, but we'll get into that another time. Y'all make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. God bless you all, and if you're feeling frosty, if you feel like donating, I'll leave the Cash App in the chat. You guys let me know what you think. Salute, everybody, and God bless. Take care.